Howdy, this is Group 12, and this is our presentation over kosher and halal ice cream with marshmallow and vanilla flavoring. My name is Kate Ellis, and these are my teammates.
My name is Isaac Johnson.
My name is Jason Koontz.
My name is Leigh Smith.
My name is Madeline Cotter.
Alrighty, before we dive into this presentation, I just want to give you a little quick information and overview. Here we have kosher, which is described as food that is acceptable to the Jewish community. There are four main laws followed in kosher, those being number one, the allowance of birds and animals in their diet. Number two, they're not allowed to consume the blood of any meat or poultry. Number three, they must have a complete separation of any milk and meat. And finally, Law 4, which only allows certain grains during Passover. Next, we have halal. Halal is a food that permits and follows Quran laws for Muslims. This means it must follow very strict principles and rules in order to consume any food. For this reason, halal is known to be very wholesome and pure food fit for human consumption and is gaining popularity all around the world.
These are some examples of halal labels on food packaging. They're there for a consumer to easily distinguish if a product is halal or haram. They're typically just a little label that says the words halal. You can see them on most packaging in a grocery store. And these are some examples of kosher labels. Very similar. They're there to distinguish kosher foods from non-kosher or treif foods.
So we made kosher and halal ice cream with marshmallows and vanilla flavoring. Typically, ice cream is served very cold at about 5 to 10 degrees Fahrenheit. The target and major consumers for our product would be Muslims because we did use halal ingredients. Also Jewish as well because we did adhere by kosher guidelines and preparation methods. Also those interested in food that's prepared with ethical consuming in mind, they can also try our products if they're concerned about how animals are treated in the way that the food is produced. In addition, vegetarian can eat our foods because it doesn't contain any meat products. It doesn't contain any meat. And then in addition, kids can enjoy our products as well, because just because it's kosher and halal doesn't mean it doesn't taste good. There are also some alternative. If you did want to make the ice cream, you can also find some kosher and halal ice cream near you. The first place you could go to is Baskin Robbins that have over 5,000 shops throughout the US. They're also sold in local grocery stores like H-E-B or Target or Walmart. They are halal. They're certified by the IFANCA, and it typically costs between $3 to $4 inside of a grocery store. That's the symbol that you can look for on the container to let you know that it is halal. And then Ben & Jerry's is known for their kosher products. They're certified by the KOLK Kosher Supervision. And Ben & Jerry's also found in local grocery stores, and they typically cost between $4 and $5. And then they'll have this symbol right here that you can look for on the container to let you know that it is kosher.
So this is a list of the ingredients that we used when we made the kosher and halal ice cream. We used 2 1/4 cup of whole milk. We used 1 cup of heavy whipping cream, 3/4 a cup of natural sugar, 1/4 a teaspoon of salt, 6 eggs, marshmallows, and then also I have a picture in the corner of halal marshmallows that you can get from Amazon. So we used those. And then also that picture is homemade vanilla extract, but you can also buy it at the store, halal vanilla extract. Basically, you just have to make sure that it doesn't have alcohol.
So status of some of the ingredients. For whole milk, it's halal. And to be halal, you can use any milk that is halal animal. So like such as a goat milk or cow milk. For heavy whipped cream, it is also halal certified. And to be halal certified, you have to use halal gelatin. And then for the vanilla extract, it has to contain no alcohol to be halal certified. And then you can also make your own natural vanilla too. For seasonings, sugar, you have to use natural sugar instead of white sugar because white sugar contains bone char, which is filtered in the filtration process. So, and then salt is, most of the salt is all kosher. So kosher salt is like kosher certified. For eggs, you have to use halal animals for eggs, like hens. And then toppings, we use marshmallows. In the top right corner, we have hollow marshmallows.
For the price comparison, if you wanted to go out and buy these ingredients, the halal marshmallows would definitely be more expensive than the regular marshmallows. The halal marshmallows we found on Amazon for about $8. Another website had them for about $4, but the shipping in itself was about $10. That's compared to if you would go down to Walmart or HEB, and the marshmallows would typically cost you about $2. So the halal marshmallows were definitely more expensive. The vanilla flavoring that we found, the alternative, was about $2.99, which is not bad and actually cheaper than regular vanilla extract. Those typically cost between $4 and $20.
So this is the recipe that we use to make our homemade ice cream. This recipe is custard based, which means that it uses egg yolks, and egg yolks just create the rich and creamy texture. So the first step would be to beat the sugar and the egg yolks in a bowl with a stand mixer. You would add the egg yolks, sugar, and salt, and mix on a medium speed until it's like pale yellow, kind of in that picture, and light and airy. So that would be about 4 to 5 minutes of mixing. Next, you would heat the cream and milk up in a large pan. You could heat it over medium or low heat. And then if you have a thermometer, it should reach 155 to 160 degrees Fahrenheit. But if you don't have a thermometer, basically it needs to be hot, just not boiling. And then you would stir in the warm cream to the mixture that you just made with the mixture on low. And usually you can mix until it's thoroughly combined, which would be about 3 minutes. Next, you would heat up the egg and cream mixture again. You would pour the egg and cream mixture back into the large pan and heat over medium or low heat, stirring it constantly. And then you're going to want to heat it to 155 to 160 degrees Fahrenheit again. And then again, it should just be hot. But if you don't have a thermometer, you can just heat until, kind of in that picture, it needs to thicken until it could coat the back of a spoon and not just like fall off. So it can't boil, but a few bubbles could come up on the edges and that'll be okay. Next, you would remove that from the heat and add in the homemade vanilla or the special halal vanilla. And then you would strain the whole thing to remove any chunks. That way the ice cream just has a smooth consistency throughout. Next, you're just gonna chill it. You'll cool the mixture over an ice bath, stirring every few minutes. And then you'll place the mixture in a refrigerator until it's completely chilled, and then you'll turn it in an ice cream maker. And so you'll set up the ice cream machine according to however your specific manufacturer directs you to. And then with it running, the mixture will slowly and steadily stream. And then you'll just churn according to its directions, and then you'll freeze it. You'll transfer the churned ice cream into an airtight container and place it in the freezer for several hours so it will firm up. And then finally, you would serve it with the halal marshmallows.
These are our hazard control points, mainly for the gelatin, which goes into the production of the halal marshmallows. Sorry. The first hazard control point is to do with fresh bone, dry bone, and cattle hide. This is mainly, the first control point is to ensure that they come from halal animals, so like cattle. The control point 2 is degreasing. This is to avoid cross-contamination with any other possible vats or animals within those vats. Control point 3 is the acid treatment. These vats of acid should only be dedicated to halal treatment. Hazard control point 4 is the lime treatment of cattle hide. This is important to just have vats dedicated to the lime treatment for halal products. Control point 5, extraction, evaporation, extrusion, and drying. This mainly just has to be done with clean equipment. Hazard control point 6 is very similar to 5 and 7. It's the milling and blending. This just has to be done on clean equipment that is clean by halal standards. Hazard control point 7 is packaging and labeling, which must also be done in a clean container.